Sometimes you're going to be going up, and sometimes you're going to be coming down. Sometimes you're going to look great, and sometimes you're going to look crap. Sometimes you're going to want to be on your diet, and sometimes you're just going to want to stick a pizza up your ass. Tommy the Bodybuilder here, thank you for joining me as always. And genuinely, if somebody was going to put a gun to my head, way too weird, no need to do it, and say, what do you think the most important thing about actually going to the gym and ensuring that you achieve your goals? I would genuinely say it's that you're motivated in the first place and that you're enjoying it. Because if you are not liking what you're doing, it doesn't matter where you're trying to end up, you ain't ever going to get there. So that's right, today we are going to go through 8 reasons you're not enjoying the gym and how to fix them. And number 8 is remembering that progress is not stable. You get this all the time. People think they go to the gym and they get their newbie gains, the first 6 months, whatever it may be, and they go, oh wow, people are starting to notice that I'm looking quite good, and then nothing happens for a while, so they go, oh great, it's all come crashing down. Now eventually they realize, oh no, this is just how it works. You get that big boost at the start, and then you balance out a bit, but from here, people think it's just going to be incremental steps forward in the right direction. No, it is not. It is like a roller coaster. Sometimes you're going to be going up, and sometimes you're going to be coming down. Sometimes you're going to look great, and sometimes you're going to look crap. Sometimes you're going to want to be on your diet, and sometimes you're just going to want to stick a pizza up your ass. That's just how it works. That's just how brains work. It's why some people all of a sudden will click back into gear as soon as they have a focus. It's why a lot of people do sort of amateur bodybuilding competitions, because they're like, oh man, I just need something I can hold on to mentally. I don't know what to do. They decide to do a competition, and all of a sudden their diet is back, their training is on point, their sleep is great, they're getting all the right supplements because they know, well, I understand where I'm aiming for now, and I'm not just doing it frivolously, because it is perfectly fine to be a gym guy or a gym girl and accept that this is one of your passions, one of your hobbies, and every now and then lose your way just a little bit. And the sole thing you have to do is just refine that spark. And it could be anything. Maybe you're going to go on a holiday. Maybe you can book in a photo shoot. Maybe you put on a little bit of weight because you do take some time off, which is perfectly fine, and then decide, oh, I've taken it a little bit too far now. It's time to reverse that polarity. All of this is okay. It does not define you. No one should be judging you by it. That includes yourself. Number 7 is you're outworking yourself. What I mean by this is you go to the gym and you see what everybody else is doing and you think, I'm not lifting heavy enough. That is absolutely not true. Strength is relative. So if Barry can do 200 kilogram bench press and you can only do 100 kilogram bench press, but Barry is also twice as big as you, then you're absolutely smashing it. But it's almost, we've got to this place now where it doesn't matter what size you are or how long you've been lifting, you have to go in the gym and start throwing around big weights, otherwise you absolutely suck. And when you do try and do that, and you're not getting the right repetitions, which means you're not going to see any growth and potentially injuring yourself, surprise, surprise, you're not going to enjoy the gym. And if you really just need a piece of information to stop you doing this, time under tension and form are way more important than strength, unless you're trying to be a strong man or a power lifter or something like that. But that's a completely different skill. It's a completely different set that you're going to have to take in and then adapt to ensure you're doing it correctly. But I can't, the amount of times people go, oh, I can only do 75 kilograms. No. You do 75 kilograms. As long as you're getting to the 8 to 10 rep mark, maybe a little bit more, and you're struggling or you're hitting failure and you're doing good reps, you are absolutely smashing it. It does not matter what anybody else is doing in the gym. You are in competition with yourself, and if anybody comes over and says anything different, I'll tell you this, they're the dick. Number 6 is you're tired. That's it. You're tired. Go to sleep. Get some rest. You don't have to go to the gym all the time. Sometimes you'll sit down and your body will go, I really don't want to go to the gym today. Usually you have to ignore that because you're just being a lazy Lou. But other times it's actually your whole being telling you, no. Today, we just got to sit and we just got to play Nintendo. And you are allowed to do that. Missing one gym session does not make a blind difference. What does make a difference is missing 5 gym sessions, 10 gym sessions, 20 gym sessions. It's about consistency. So if you want to get your 5 sessions in a week, if that's what you're doing, and you like to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but one week you get rid of Wednesday and you go Saturday, and one week, lo and behold, you only do 3, your body is not going to know, as long as longevity-wise, you keep it up. So if you are tired, for the love of everything, sleep. Number 5 is you're doing it for the wrong reasons, because you can only do it for reasons that actually matter to you. And it's true. Like, it really is. It's like people that are in a job that they're not passionate about. They find it, they struggle to sort of get the most out of it because there's nothing deep down in their tum-tum that's inspiring, and it's the same with the gym. Now, most people, obviously, if you go into a weightlifting gym, are going there to have a better aesthetic look and to be healthier because, of course, exercise is good for you. But if you go down there and you're not getting anything from it, and you're a bit like, man, this is drab and it's ruining my life, for the love of everything, go and do something else. Once more, if anyone's like, oh, I can't believe Barry doesn't come to the gym anymore, what a sad life they have. They are more interested in what you are not doing than what they are doing. I see this all the time. If you had a book in front of you, the two most important columns you can have are the tick box and the cross through box. And what I mean by that is if you had a bunch of things that you really enjoy and you tick them and you know that, you also need to know what you don't like, and that's the cross box. So if the gym just happens to be one of them, you get rid of it and you think to yourself, okay, but I still want to be healthy. There are 1,001 ways to do that. Not even true, probably 1,002. Number 4 is you're being wrecked by social media. It's true, and it kind of ties into other entries on this list, because you're flicking through social media or watching Hollywood movies or whatever it may be, and you're going, I don't look like that, I don't look like that, I don't look like that, I don't look like that. And while it may on the surface feel like it's a very inconsequential thing, it's not. Because you are taking it all in and you are creating this negative vibe around yourself. You don't know what those people are doing. You don't know what they're taking. You don't know what the lighting is like. You don't know what the camera crew has done. You don't know how much editing there has been involved. There's nothing wrong with admiring somebody else's physique. But if it is taking you down the wrong path and making you feel shit about yourself, then you just need to get rid of it. You put it like this, right? If you've gone to the gym and you've been able to build up from some physique, I promise you there is someone out there, be it in a random gym or someone that knows you, a friend, a loved one, a family member, that has looked to you and gone, I'd like to look like Steve. But you don't know that because you're too busy looking at Instagram. You're like, well, I want to look like all these guys. But you've already inspired somebody else. Social media is not real. This goes for your mental health as well. Just because it looks like somebody's having a great time, it doesn't mean they're having a great time. I'm here sat ranting and raving, but do I have other problems I need to deal with? Of course I do, because once again, that's just damn life. It ties into number 3, that you think anybody else cares, and they don't. Some of the quotes that we've already used here, oh, I can't believe so-and-so has stopped going to the gym, they're just saying that. Like, they don't actually care about what you're doing. Usually, or 9 times out of 10, it ties into their own insecurities. The best way I ever saw this, and it's not really a one-to-one comparison, but I think you can use it as a decent example, is I gave up drinking when I was 18 years old. I went out on my 17th birthday, my 18th birthday, last day of being 17, and I got drunk, and I hated it so much, I said, I'm never drinking again, but I meant it. It just wasn't for me. I was more interested in going to the gym, and for years, it's different now, because it's become more socially acceptable. People go, oh, why don't you drink? Why don't you drink? And it gave me massive social anxiety. But as it turned out, as I've learned with maturity and experience, I suppose, this was them, or so I feel anyway, please correct me if I'm wrong, but it was more them going, well, how is he able to come out and not drink, whereas I really feel like I need it? Because a lot of people obviously feel a little bit looser after they have some alcohol, and that allows them to enjoy the evening more. The irony being is that I was wound as tightly as anything, because I was like, oh no, people are going to talk to me about it. But obviously, I suppose I wasn't exuding that. So you make decisions for you, and as long as they're not hurting anybody else and they are good decisions for your life, if anybody else is saying anything, they don't actually care about you. They just care about themselves and the stuff that they can't figure out. Number 2 is you're not getting help. Of course, you need help. If you're in a rut, be it in any walk of your life, you need someone to get you out of the rut. Now, I understand PTs can be expensive, but there's so many different ways to do it. If you are really trying to get in shape and you don't know how to do it anymore, then you go and get a teacher. That's what we do with school. That's what we do when we're trying to learn a program. That's what we do with things like a musical instrument, for example. And of course, you can do that online, but that counts too. You can start watching videos. You can find a new way to be inspired. But for the love of everything, don't feel like you have to suffer in silence. I understand working out is not the most important thing in the world, but if you want it to mean something to you, then of course it is going to have importance within your existence. So just take a step back, find someone that you believe you trust, and take information from them until you're kicking ass again. And number 1 is you're just going through the motions. And this is going to happen, and I don't think enough people tell you this. If you are committed to the gym for the rest of your life, so let's say that's 50 years, whatever the hell it may be, do you think you can go 50 years without there being some periods where you're just going through the motions and you're not hitting failure and you don't have the intensity? Of course, because you're just a human. I've said this 1,000 times, and you only have so much in the tank. Now, what you do need to do, a lot of people call these deload weeks, and that's why they exist for a reason, to allow you to have this break. Make sure you have a break, but also just make sure you look in the mirror and clock yourself when you realize, why am I going to the gym, right? In order to try and make muscles grow. We're going to break it down to its simplest form here. You can only do that with progressive overload, and you can only do that with the right intensity. And if you realize you haven't been doing that, just dust yourself off, and the next time you go for a session, really think about it. I got to push through these last 3 reps. That's when you absolutely grow. I need to feel like these really hurts, because it does, when you're doing the gym properly, it really, really hurts. And by the end, I need to leave going, oh my gosh, my poor belly. And then maybe you wake up with delayed onset muscle soreness. But you need to be aware of it, right? Because you are going to fall into these troughs, because of course you are. I guess this ties into the first one we did. But there are ups and there are downs. And when people are up on their training, they're loving it. Look at me, I look great. But when they're down, they're kind of just a bit forlorn, and they never actually take a step back and try and figure out why. And that's what it is. That's all it is. The only reason is that you have lost just that extra 1-2% that you need in order to keep progressing. But I want to make it very clear, this is not a bad thing. Think of all the awful things that are going on in the world. And if your biggest one is that you didn't smash the gym that day, everything's going to be all right. So boom, there you go. 8 reasons you're not enjoying the gym, and hopefully little things that you can take on to start enjoying it again, because I've been through all of this, and I think the greatest thing I ever did was just understand, you know what, who cares anyway? But of course, I also want to make sure my muscles grow. Also, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the bell ding dings. When other videos are going live, there will be a video on the screen. Please do give it a click. Otherwise, grillermind.com/Simon. Use code Simon, get 10% off. Back on Cameo now for those that asked. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Patreon.com/Simon316 for exclusive reaction videos. At Simon316 on Instagram and Twitter. Simon@bigcartel.com for merch. Otherwise, have a great day, have a great gym. Goodbye.